What if February 13th at Daytona isn't just the start of a new Truck Series season, but the beginning of something that could quietly reshape NASCAR? Because this year, the spotlight isn't just on the race itself, it's on a collision of worlds. Digital fame meeting stock car tradition, a returning manufacturer shaking up the garage, and a Hall of Famer stepping back into the fire. The 2026 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series opener doesn't feel routine, it feels like a turning point. At the center of it all is Cleetas McFarland, the internet personality whose real name is Garrett Mitchell. With more than 4 million subscribers, Cleetas built a motorsports empire online long before he ever strapped into a NASCAR vehicle. His Freedom Factory track in Florida became a hub for wild builds, grassroots races, and burnout competitions that pull in massive audiences. But beyond the humor and high-horsepower chaos, there's always been a serious racer underneath. While some critics were quick to label him just a YouTuber, he steadily proved that his ambitions went far beyond content creation. That proof started to show in 2025 when Cleetas entered the ARCA Series at some of the toughest tracks on the calendar. Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte, Bristol. These aren't gentle introductions, they're battlegrounds where inexperience gets exposed fast. Yet he didn't fade into the background. He secured a top 10 finish at Talladega and impressed many with a 9th place result at Charlotte. Those performances forced people to reconsider the narrative. Maybe this wasn't a social media stunt, maybe it was the beginning of something real. Then came the emotional hurdle that changed everything. Cleetas had developed a close bond with veteran NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, who many believe played a guiding role in mapping out his long-term NASCAR plan. Reports surfaced in late 2025 about a tragic plane crash involving Biffle and his family, shocking the motorsports world and prompting an outpouring of support across the community. While the details circulated widely online, what mattered most was the impact. Cleetas suggested that he struggled deeply after the loss and questioned whether continuing the journey made sense without his mentor there. But over time, it seemed that the decision became about finishing a shared mission rather than walking away. The dream they have discussed, climbing the ladder step by step toward the Daytona 500, suddenly felt more personal than ever. Before Cleetas can officially compete in the Truck Series opener, there's another layer of pressure. NASCAR requires approval testing for drivers advancing into superspeedway competition. Pack racing at Daytona is unforgiving, with trucks running inches apart at nearly 190 miles per hour. That means Cleetas must demonstrate to officials that he's ready for the intensity and split-second decisions that define these races. If he clears that hurdle, he earns his spot. If not, the debut gets delayed. That looming test adds suspense to the entire build-up because the stakes extend far beyond one race. It's about credibility, momentum, and silencing the doubters who were still watching closely. While Cleetas fights to secure his opportunity, another headline is grabbing equal attention. Ram Trucks is officially returning to NASCAR after more than a decade away. Since Dodge departed following the 2012 season, the manufacturer field has remained limited to Ford, Chevrolet, and Toyota. Ram's comeback changes that balance immediately. Rather than entering quietly, the brand is launching with a 5-truck, factory-backed program in the Truck Series. It's a bold strategy, choosing the Truck Series as a more controlled, cost-effective entry point that allows development and brand visibility without the massive investment required at the Cup level. The driver lineup reinforces how serious this move is. Multiple full-time competitors will carry the Ram banner throughout the season, but the headline grabber is the number 25 entry at Daytona, piloted by none other than Tony Stewart. Stewart, a 3-time Cup Series champion and Hall of Fame figure, hasn't driven in NASCAR's national ranks since 2016. His decision to return, even for a select appearance, signals that Ram's comeback isn't symbolic, it's competitive. Stewart brings instant legitimacy and nostalgia, reminding longtime fans of an era when Dodge and Ford duels dominated headlines. Adding another modern twist, a reality competition series reportedly executive produced by Dana White selected one driver for a full-season ride in the number 14 Ram truck. The concept blends entertainment and racing, bringing crossover appeal from the fight world into stock car culture. For traditionalists, it may seem unconventional, but from a business perspective, it aligns with the sport's push towards younger audiences and broader reach. NASCAR's challenge for the past 2 decades has been maintaining relevance in a shifting media landscape. Integrating digital personalities and cross-industry promotion signals a willingness to experiment rather than remain static. All of this sets the stage for the Fresh from Florida 250 at Daytona International Stadium. It's only 100 laps, but at Daytona, that distance feels long enough for anything to happen. The draft will form quickly, the lead pack will shuffle constantly. One bump in the tri-oval can trigger chaos that reshuffles the entire order. Cleetas will be racing not only against seasoned Truck Series competitors, but also against the expectations that follow him from millions of screens around the world. Ram will be chasing an immediate statement win to mark its return. Stewart will be stepping back into an environment he once ruled, testing whether instinct and experience still translate under today's rules. Beyond the checkered flag, the larger implications are impossible to ignore. If Cleetas runs competitively, it could validate a new pathway into NASCAR, one where digital influence supports rather than replace traditional development. If Ram's program shows speed early, it may encourage deeper manufacturer competition or even open the door for expansion into higher series. And if the event captures strong viewership, it suggests that blending legacy names with modern personalities might be exactly what the sport needs at this stage. Daytona has always been a place where history happens quickly, but this time the history isn't limited to one driver or one team. It's layered. A YouTube-built fan base colliding with stock car tradition, a manufacturer reclaiming its presence, and a champion revisiting unfinished business. When the green flag waves on February 13th, it won't just signal the beginning of a race, it may signal a new direction for NASCAR itself, one shaped equally by nostalgia, innovation, and the belief that momentum can shift faster than anyone expects.